You may be concerned, but you remember what happened with the toilet paper a few months ago? People were panic buying. I just want to tell everyone out there, this is not the time to panic buy meat. There is plenty out there.
We don't want people to hoard product.
Where is the beef? That's the question a lot of consumers have these days.
I think that's what's bringing people out here. Is the fact that there are shortages.
Some stores are seeing less inventory. Others, like BLYSTONE Farms, have plenty, but can't keep it in the case.
So it's really a function of a choke point that we see happening throughout the supply chain.
Elizabeth Harsh, the executive director of the Ohio Beef Council, says the issues at the processing plants.
As packing plants make sure that they're putting worker safety first and foremost, it slowed down their production. They're able to take less cattle in and send less beef out the door.
Small farms like BLYSTONE had to shut down online ordering because they can't keep up.
I think at first it started because there wasn't anything on the shelves at the grocery store.
And business is still booming, but that's not the case for Ohio farmers that don't process on site.
There's a lot of farmers hurting right now.
Cattle are kind of backing up on the farm, and then that's further depressing prices for our cattlemen here in the state.
Joe BLYSTONE wants consumers to know the stores are still open, farmers are working, and everyone's doing what they can to get food on your table.
Just buy what you need for that week and think about your neighbor.
We really see no shortage. It's just a question of getting it processed.
Now, Joe and Jane BLYSTONE actually say they are still looking for help, ironically, in this tough time because they have had such a surge of people and a need for meat right now. And they said, just like at your normal grocery store, if one cut of meat that you want isn't available, just come back in a few days and it should be available. Matt and Monica.
Yeah, checking in with those local farmers is a great thing to do right now. Danielle, when do they expect, though, that the supply chain will be back to normal?
Now, Elizabeth, Monica, she says that she's not really sure. It could take a month. It could take a few months. It really depends on when these production and these processing facilities get up and running again, especially those that are closed because of the hotspots of COVID-19. I also want to note a lot of farmers markets out there. You're going to notice farmers popping up with fresh cuts of meat that are going to be available because they're not available in the grocery right now.
I've seen a lot of them posting on Facebook to come to your farmers market just for that reason. Last question, Danielle. What about pork and chicken? We heard about beef. What about those two?
Yeah, Matt, that's a great question. So I talked to the Pork Council. They said they're having the same issues, unfortunately, at the processing facility. So there is going to be a shortage there. But they want to remind you again, maybe experiment, use some different pork products in your recipes until they have what you need out there. Matt and Monica.
Yeah, just don't go hoarding it. That's for sure. Thank you very much, Danielle.